Animal agriculture is one of the biggest industries in America today, and even worldwide. It also plays an important role in human sustainability. Although maintaining human needs is essential, the underlying costs of these animal agriculture industries are not always brought to the surface. It's important to recognize the ecological impacts and real costs of these industries before the environment cannot sustain life anymore. In the past century, animal agriculture has changed significantly. The demand has increased due to a rising population, and environmental needs aren't viewed to be as urgent as a demand for animal-based products. Land and natural resources are manipulated and taken advantage of in order to meet the demands of the animal agriculture industry, which has continuously gotten worse throughout the years. Along with land and natural resource manipulation, another social factor that is contributing to the animal agriculture industry today is the fact that a lot of industries are underreporting the true costs behind their practices. The reason behind this is that big industries can continue to provide for human sustainability and to meet human needs without recognizing and being responsible for the environment itself. By acknowledging these facts, they have to make compromises in order to meet human needs, which may not be the most effective. Therefore, a lot of industries, especially in the animal agriculture industry, are taking advantage of the environment and dealing with it later. To put things into perspective, Kohn-Smaren and Nirenberg in 2008 have noted that the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change predicts an increase of about 2 to 4 degrees Celsius by the year 2100. They also focus on CO2 emissions from farm animal processing, which total about several tens of millions of tons annually. This shows the reality of animal agriculture and that one simple factor and one simple element can lead to a worldwide climate change. Along with that, Cheek and Davis in 1997 have also shown the environmentalist perspective on that issue. They also note that there are so many other elements that play a role into the environmental decline due to animal agriculture, which include air and water pollution, soil erosion, elevated fossil fuel usage, and other social costs. They even note, as previously stated, that industries should pay for these hidden costs before further developments in order to sustain humans as well as the environment. Understanding the harsh realities of animal agriculture is a lot easier said than done. Fraser in 2001 developed a new perception of animal agriculture by saying that it is detrimental to animal welfare, controlled by corporations, motivated by money, increasing world hunger, producing unhealthy food, and harming the environment. They also note that agricultural organizations have responded to this with positive images contradicting the reality of the issue. This shows a social problem when concerning animal agriculture. A lot of the industries are hiding themselves and hiding the realities of their practices in order to make money and to sustain human needs. Similarly, Abdalla and Lawton note that in 2006, it is hard to maintain a balance between the environment and human sustainability. The environment is normally sacrificed in order to meet the needs of the economy and human sustainability, since that is what society is primarily focused on. This shows another underlying social issue where society is primarily focused on the economy rather than their environment and sustainability of the rest of their lives. Experiments have been done in order to try to find a balance between the environment and human sustainability within the animal agriculture industry. Heitschmidt, Short, and Grings did just that in 1996. They decided to study fossil fuels in relation to the U.S. beef and cattle industry. They noted that if they reduced the amount of fossil fuels being used within the industry, efficiency would decrease twofold. Similarly, Kebreab, Clark, Wagner-Riddle, and France in 2006 studied methane and nitrous oxide emissions in the animal agriculture industry. They tried dietary adjustments, statistical calculations in order to reduce the methane and nitrous oxide emissions, but it has shown that a lot of other factors such as feed formulation, metabolism, excretion treatment, and storage play a huge role into those emissions. This shows an underlying social problem where the balance of these issues and individual environmental issues are overwhelming to industries and seem to be a lot more complex than simply providing enough to meet human needs. The animal agriculture industry's primary focus is to meet human needs. But what they don't understand is that the cost of their practices in their industries is harming humans as well. Gunderson, Stewart, and Peterson in 2016 talk about this in regards to factory farming. They note that factory farming is often seen as an environmental injustice because groups at risk are dealing with environmental health problems, especially rural communities, farm and slaughterhouse workers, and the global poor. They are subject to depleted natural resources, polluted water and air, which is detrimental to their health and the health of their families. Similarly, Downing in 1989 talks about the pollutants in Chesapeake Bay, which he manipulated by changing different livestock and different farming practices to see what would reduce the environmental harm. He notes that with even changing livestock and changing farming practices, the amount of environmental harm is still there and is just expressed in a different way. This shows an underlying social issue in the sense that environmental harm is very complex through animal agriculture and it is very hard to grasp. These issues are very unique to the type of livestock and are very unique to the type of farming practices, which makes it hard for industries to manipulate in order to maintain a balance between the environment and human sustainability. Although a lot of research has been done concerning animal agriculture and maintaining a balance between human sustainability and the environment, there has been a changing attitude in the scientific community. Knight and Tutu in 2013 have talked about the 6th mass extinction in the United States. They note that evidence from fossil records shows that there have been 5 mass extinctions throughout the years. And they note that this increase in climate change is going closer and closer towards the 6th mass extinction. This is an eye-opener for society and the industries, but a lot of these industries tend to not pay attention to it. They tend to focus on human sustainability and for humans to get the needs that they deserve and that they want, rather than the ultimate cost of their practices. Maintaining a balance between the environment and human sustainability within the animal agriculture industry is of growing importance. Hayenga in 1995 talks about insufficient incentives to reduce environmental harm. He notes that these tie into policy issues, which involve social issues. These social issues include insufficient fees, unnecessary fees, and wasted time. This shows the true nature of these industries and shows what their primary concern is, which is efficiency and money. They want to make sure that human needs are met regardless of the cost. But without acknowledging the cost, they can only meet these needs for so long. Therefore, this can tie into green criminology and environmentalism, because by neglecting the environment, you're shutting down the future rather than building it. By understanding the true intentions of the animal agriculture industry, it is shown that their true focus is simply human needs rather than the environment and maintaining these human needs. It's shown that through the manipulation of natural resources and the wasting of natural gases and fossil fuels, it's shown that the environment is not going to be able to sustain human needs much longer. This increase in climate change, as previously noted, and CO2 emissions along with methane and nitrous oxide emissions are contributing to an overall climate change which is detrimental to not only the animals and the environment, but to humans as well. This all in all contradicts the overall mission of the animal agriculture industry, which is human sustainability. Although they're doing it in the short term, they're not able to do it in the long term if they continue with these practices and if they continue to neglect the true cost of their practices.